James was the biggest liar anyone had ever met. He lied so frequently that it had become his second nature. Whether it was family, friends, or strangers, James would never tell the truth. His best friend Mike had warned him many times. James, stop lying. One day this habit will make you regret everything. But James never listened. Listen, I don't care. He would say, I lie not to hurt anyone, but just to protect myself. Deep down, Mike knew that James was building an empire of lies, and that empire would soon come crashing down. One day, James visited a coffee shop. He had lied to his parents that he was working as a software engineer in a top company, and they were proud of him. But in reality, James was unemployed, living on odd jobs and deceiving people. He had no stable job, no real ambition, and no reputation to call his own. As he sipped his coffee, he noticed a beautiful girl sitting nearby. He couldn't stop looking at her. For the first time in a long while, something stirred inside him. It felt like love at first sight. Unable to resist, James walked up to her and said, Hey Jasmine, right? I've been calling you. Why didn't you answer? The girl looked confused. I'm not Jasmine. My name is Rosie. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rosie. James replied quickly, pretending to be embarrassed. I was waiting for a client named Jasmine. I thought you were her. I've spoken to her on phone, but I've never met her before. My mistake. Rosie, calm and kind, believed his story. She didn't realize James had just lied to start a conversation. They talked for a while, and by the end, James had her number. From the day onwards, they started talking frequently and became close. James told Mike about Rosie. I think I've really fallen for her, he admitted. We have been talking for 3 weeks now, and I'm going to meet her again tomorrow. Mike asked, What will you tell her about your work? She might ask. James went quiet. I don't know, but I'm surely not telling her the truth. If I do, she'll leave me instantly. Mike knew James was wrong, but also knew he wouldn't stop him. The next day, Rosie casually asked, What do you do, James? He replied with a confident lie. I work as a manager in a software company. I lead a team of 10 people. It's a remote job, so I don't visit the office often. I also love adventure and travel. Rosie smiled. That's nice. I work as a writer. It's not a big job, but it pays enough for me to live simple life. I don't have big dreams. I just want peace. James was stunned. She wasn't materialistic at all. For the first time, he felt the urge to tell the truth, but the fear of losing her held him back. Just then, Rosie's friend Carrie showed up at the cafe. She worked as a recruiter in an IT firm. Hey, what a surprise, she said. Rosie introduced James. Carrie smiled politely and they chatted briefly. When the topic of work came up, James quickly changed the subject and safely escaped the conversation. Later, James shared everything with Mike. Mike was concerned. James, if you don't want to lose her, you must tell her the truth. That night, James called Rosie multiple times. She didn't answer. He texted her asking to meet at the same cafe. She agreed. When James arrived, Rosie looked upset. You're a liar, James. You lied to me, she said coldly. I was about to tell you everything, Rosie. Please believe me. Really? It's not the first time you have lied. My friend Carrie remembered you. You cheated her landlord by lying about rent. You lie to everyone. I can't be with someone who lives on lies. James begged for forgiveness, but no one trusted a liar. Rosie walked away. That day, James' world collapsed. His empire of lies had fallen, and he had nothing left but regret. Mike stayed by his side. From that moment, James decided to rebuild his life. Truthfully, he started applying for jobs honestly. It wasn't easy. He faced rejection, judgment, and struggled financially, but he didn't give up. After a few months, he finally got a decent job. It didn't pay much, but it was honest work, and it gave James peace. Eventually, he told the truth to his parents too. They were hurt, but relieved. Slowly, they forgave him, and stood by his side. A few weeks later, one evening, James got a call. It was Rosie. "James, can we meet again?" He was surprised and nervous but agreed. They met at the same cafe where everything had started. Rosie looked at him and said, "I'm really proud of you." She continued, "I met you on purpose today. The recruiter who hired you, she's a friend of my friend Carrie. She told me how honestly you spoke during the interview. You didn't hide your past. You told her the exact truth, that you had made mistakes but were ready to start over. She was impressed and gave you the job because of your honesty. And since then, you have been working hard with sincerity. That makes more than anything to me." After listening to Rosie, James' eyes filled with tears. He had always believed that lying would get him everything he wanted, but this time it was his honesty that brought him one person he truly admired, respected, and loved. From that day onward, James lived a life of truth, not for anyone else, but for himself. Friends, in our daily lives, we often feel that a lie can save us from difficult moments, but lies don't disappear, they multiply. One lie leads to another, and soon we are trapped in a web we can't escape. When the time comes to finally speak the truth, even the truth sounds like a lie. Let's learn from James' journey and choose honesty even when it's hard, because truth may not give instant results, but it builds a life that stands strong. Thank you so much.